What single event restored your faith in humanity? I used to work at a small convenience store where all the customers were regulars, and among them was a kid around 12 years old. Every school day, he'd show up on his worn-out bike and, without fail, buy a bottle of chocolate milk and a small pack of cheese crackers. He was a super friendly kid with a rough background, and he always paid in coins. He once told me he collected the nickels and dimes his dad left around when drunk, and it was with that change that he managed to buy food for school. One morning, he came in looking sad. He went through the store to grab his usual, but when he got to the counter, he was short by about 10 cents. He started to put his crackers back, but I reached into my pocket and pulled out a dime for him. The look of joy on his face was priceless. He must have thanked me 10 times before heading out, looking much happier than when he'd come in. The next customer in line, another regular, was a man in his 40s there to buy his usual pack of cigarettes. I rang him up and told him the total when he suddenly asked, "Aren't you paying for it?" At first, I thought he was joking and laughed it off, but he was serious. He started yelling that if I was buying things for other customers, I should buy his cigarettes too. I explained there was a difference between giving a kid 10 cents for lunch and buying a grown man I didn't know a pack of cigarettes. He got angrier, accusing me of favoritism and saying I cared more about the kid than him. I looked him straight in the eye and said, "Yeah, I do," surprised. He went red with anger and began shouting insults, calling me names. At that point, I calmly put his cigarettes back on the shelf. He lost it, yelling, "What are you doing, you stupid woman? I'm buying those." I replied, "Not today, and not from me. Now please leave." Instead of leaving, he reached behind me, trying to grab his cigarettes, and in the process, he hit my shoulder. I stumbled back a little, revealing my 7-month pregnancy bump. The other customers saw I was heavily pregnant, and the place nearly erupted in outrage over him pushing a pregnant woman just because she helped a kid. One of the regulars, a veteran, shouted at him to get out immediately for his own good. He stormed off, fuming. Afterward, I explained to the customers what had happened. Amazingly, they decided to start a school lunch fund for the kid. The veteran put an extra $1 on the counter for him, and others followed suit. Soon, I had a jar set up, and that kid had free chocolate milk and cheese crackers for almost a month, right up until I went on maternity leave.